Welcome back to the show, everyone. Thank you for tuning into the channel. And yes, I'm back. I just wanted to talk about something serious today. This may or may not be applicable to everybody, but this past year in 2023 has been pretty difficult. I can see, not just from social media, but me firsthand, having some experience working with customers, dealing with certain people on the streets, and I can see it when I go out. I can see it in the grocery stores and in certain places I shop to. I don't really get out that much because I'm under budget. I think a lot of people right now, they are under budget because up in Canada we seem to have been spending less, and we've been trying to budget more and become more frugal. I guess that's the term that we're all looking for, frugality. It's pretty hard to do that these days when wages are stagnant, but inflation keeps on rising. That's a problem. It's a problem which I had to face. I didn't go to bars and screw around. When I got paid, I actually tried to get some equipment coming in. Got a couple of e-bikes, which was good. And I hope that will be a good investment. I think though that it would be wiser if people they practice some good basic common sense and take it upon themselves to discipline themselves so that they can budget for the things that they need in 2024. That's basically the gist of it. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a regular, average filmmaker. But I've done a lot of research. And I've actually had the time to talk with a few people who I had to serve. They had some addictions. I guess they were dealing with financial problems. Maybe other personal problems, but also financial. I see what I see. I see people come in, they buy cigarettes and booze, lottery tickets, and stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty common. And well, I have to be the guy that tells people, well, maybe you should take your money and just save it. People, they don't want to hear that. I think they are trying to cope with the fact that, yeah, our country has changed when we have a leader who's basically created problems for the rest of us Canadians. I think up north, a lot of people are complaining that, yeah, it's becoming increasingly unaffordable to live with the cost of living in general. Rent has gone up. I was actually looking at video in Toronto. If I went back there, I would be homeless within a month. Yeah, that's a fact. And, I see people, they work hard, but when it comes down to it, at the end of their, at the end of the shift, or at the end of their pay week, what do they have after bills and grocery bills? Exactly. They don't have much left over to save. So yeah, being able to save money has become increasingly difficult. Either you have to make a few sacrifices somewhere. When I was working, I really wanted to go to the gym. I wanted to make that video. I wanted to make some good videos and get out with people, and then I can do some stuff. Maybe learn and teach people how to create something. But that didn't work out this year, unfortunately. So I have regrets. Of course, my family, we don't talk that much, but it's it doesn't matter really what the state of Canada is. I mean, people, they're either in denial, or some people, they're not really doing the research, I don't think. But yeah, it's hard, I know. My family, I guess they expected me to do better. How? Exactly, how am I supposed to do that in a broken economy if I have no connections, and if YouTube keeps on um, throwing me at the bottom rung of the algorithm? How am I supposed to grow? How am I supposed to be able to get out there and travel? All that. I mean, all that stuff costs money. I mean, I barely have enough to get, some half decent upgrades. It's not even brand new. I bought mine used. It's just how people should live right now. I think that no one needs to have the biggest TV. No one needs to have, the best stuff. You can just as easily buy stuff from the marketplace on Facebook. If you guys are really poor, or not poor, but if you're on the verge of just getting by, okay, fine. People, they probably need things. They're probably moving around a lot. I would check out the marketplace, and I would go over there and see if there's an open window of opportunity. You can get in on some deals in between Boxing Day and New Year's, right after everybody is upgrading. Everybody can just go over there at that right exact moment. It's going to require a little bit of patience, and I don't think that we as a society are very patient anymore. With the age of social media, and people, they want their cake and eat it too. If they're not feeling great in the moment, what do? They go out and they buy things, that they need that dopamine hit, or they gotta do that to feel good. For some reason, people can't go a week without spending money on something. But that lifestyle, that lifestyle has got to end. This consumerism life, like we see it with Black Friday. We've seen it with how people shop. They go out and they just rush to the latest thing. They just grab whatever they can get. It's like, I don't even think the Black Friday deals are even that good to begin with, but that's me personally. But yeah, if you really want to get some good deals, just save your money. If you're really not being focused with how you're spending your money, just write it down on paper. I've talked to people. I said, here's your receipt. No, thanks, buddy. I got my app. My app will tell me. Yeah, okay. If you guys are gonna try and get stuff, if you're really in need, I would just recommend stop going to restaurants or stop buying so much groceries. I mean, you can just go and get the basic items. You're gonna probably have to hurt and sacrifice a little bit more, I think, if people are going to want to expect to get the things that they really need. And you got to think hard about it too. You got to make sure, okay, is this really what I want? Do I really want to spend $300 on a new phone, or $500 for a new TV? I mean, some people, they got money. Good for them. I mean, what I would just say, to stack it. Do not spend it. Put it away somewhere and treat that like you've got nothing. Because there's going to come a time when there's going to be like a rainy day. You need to have some kind of rainy day fund. If things get too heated in the city, and if you decide, well, yeah, things are getting unsafe and you got to move somewhere, like relocate, people, they got to have that option. Otherwise, they're going to be stuck for a long time. I can relate. And, it pays to find good people offline. I'm not advocating you go to a church, but there are some good people out there that you probably won't find anywhere else. So I would just say, yeah, keep your eyes and ears open. If you can find good people to talk to online. If you see people who are vlogging or struggling living in their cars, I would try to help those people out. And maybe if you can't give money, you could just give them your best advice. And yeah, I remember when I was working at a gas station, I was working the night shifts. I've seen people living in their cars at night. And then for me, that was like the canary in the coal mine. So that got me focused. That got me serious about trying to spend my money wiser. I think though that a lot of people this past year, last couple of months, the smart people anyways, they've been not really getting out as much. But there's still people that are out and about spending money on booze and cigarettes and whatnot. I mean, people who have addictions say they need to quit. They gotta quit. I'm talking to you. Like, if you guys think that you're above all this and you'd be like, oh no, it's not gonna happen to me. I got more self-control than I can quit at any time. Start today. I mean, next Friday night, how much money are you going to spend doing anything? Like going to a bar and spending $40, $50? For some people, that's normal. For some people, that's what their weekly spending budget is. I don't have that. But other people, they seem to have that. No problem. I mean, I wouldn't recommend people go out and drink. I mean, it's your money. But I know there's 100 different ways I could spend it better if I only had it. But yeah, I would just get back to how people should just focus on getting the things that they need. Treat it like this way. Okay. Imagine if you're traveling, or you're going to move in a few different locations, and you can only take so much with you. What are those things? And if you don't know what things you're going to be taking with you, if you're going to be traveling, write it down, the things that you don't need, and see how much money you can get from that. And you know what? Whatever happens, if inflation gets higher, people, they got to make choices. We can't be idle all the time. I mean, yeah, I understand people, they get depressed. Depression hurts. I know. But we got to figure out a solution. For real. I mean, the world isn't going to get any better unless we try and do something. I don't think that vlogging on social media is going to do anything except make people more irate. But, we don't have any control over what happens in the world. What we can do is control ourselves. And how we go about living. That's important. And, yeah, I would just say, talk to people. See what they're doing. Learn from people if you can. Find ways of making money on the side if you don't already have a side hustle. If you're leaving your channels blank, I would just say focus on, maybe instead of drinking or doing something stupid, why don't just focus on turning your energy towards something positive like art or maybe music, and then maybe something good might come out of that. You never know what you might learn unless you try. I mean, people have to try to branch out. I wouldn't recommend doing the same old thing. It's good to have a side hustle so that you guys can learn something. And that way, if they pull the rug right under you, if your job is no longer available to you, and if you're going to be stuck in between jobs, you're going to find something else to do in your own time. And don't worry about what other people say. I mean, if you're worried about what other people are saying about you and your choices, if you're trying to pursue something that's for your own, just forget them. They probably got their own issues. There's a lot of people in the city, I know they have their own issues. So I'm just doing my own thing. I don't bother anyone. And yeah, that's the way to do it. People, they gotta get out there and they gotta find good positive groups of people. And from there on, yeah, find a way to beat the system. Get together in groups, have a little potluck. Something like an activity, get together and jam. As always, stay crafty. Keep your head to the grindstone.